welcome back to episode number 31 of the Slap the Ask show. Today we have another phenomenal guest. We have Flip, or at Flip_TEZ on Twitter. Go give him a follow. And Jimmy and I are looking forward to this episode. Flip's into NFTs, trading, all that kind of stuff. So we're looking forward to diving into the NFT world and learning more about this stuff. So with that, thanks for coming on the show, Flip.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks, Flip, for coming on, and shout out Boyd Crowder for connecting us. He's been a friend for a while, and nice to have you on, Flip. Appreciate it.
So I guess the first question we have for you is, how did you kind of get into the NFT world? When did you start using your Twitter to look at NFTs? Like, when did that all start for you? I assume pretty recently, obviously.
Yes. Yeah, so it was just a few months ago. Boyd actually got me into Tezos right after the initial drop. And he was explaining DeFi and NFTs to me. And one day I just decided to give it a look. And like 24 hours later, I just dived into the rabbit hole.
Nice.
Awesome. So I know right now for NFT trading, the main platform is OpenSea, but it looks like here you're using Kukai. Is there a particular reason why you're using this platform as opposed to OpenSea, or do you use both?
So this is actually my wallet, Kukai. I use it because you can do direct authentication. So people don't have to know your wallet address. They can send their transactions to @flip_tez, just as if they had the wallet address. But the main platform I've actually been using is object.com.
Okay. So this is how you search for the different NFTs, like what you want to buy and kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. See, so this is kind of sectioned out different parts of my collection.
Oh, wow.
But the reason I went with Object is because it uses Tez. And so you don't have to spend, 60 to hundreds of dollars on a transaction and hope that it goes through. On Tezos, you're spending, pennies just for the transaction. And the only time you have an issue is on a drop when everybody's clicking, buy at the same time.
Right. So I guess for some of the listeners that may not understand, and for myself and Luke, so when you say Tez, that's talking about like a totally different blockchain, right? Whereas most NFTs, they're known to be on Ethereum, and like you said before, the transaction costs are high due to the amount of congestion that's on Ethereum. So your logic is Tezos is not nearly as congested, and thus the transactions can happen much more seamlessly and cheaply. Am I getting that right?
Absolutely. So you're saving money, and the transactions use about as much power as sending a tweet. So you don't have the same energy consumption that you do on Ethereum, which I know is a big turnoff for most people that look into NFTs.
Right.
Okay, interesting. Have you noticed any liquidity issues by being on Tezos, or not really? Like, as in, is it still like a popular blockchain to buy and sell NFTs on, or is there maybe like issues with the amount of people that are actually on Tezos?
No, so it's very popular. Let me see. This is one of the projects that I'm a moderator for. And just in the last few days, we went from a little over 400 members, and now we're getting well over 1,000. So someone made an alpha call in their Ethereum channel, and I was watching the Discord one day, and I like to, greet everybody one by one, but I was getting so many pings that I literally couldn't keep up with it.
Wow.
So it was pretty crazy. There's a lot of new traffic coming in, a lot of Ethereum players that are starting projects on Tez and bringing, their guys on over.
Right.
So
I guess a question I have for you is for like someone who's not educated in the space. So the wallet is what? Is that Kukai?
yeah. So you have Kukai.
So you transfer your Tezos crypto from your crypto wallet Kukai to uh, the exchange, which was called what?
So the exchange I use is Coinbase.
To
Uh,
Coinbase. And then you actually buy and sell the NFTs on Object.
yes, sir. So let's see. I
Okay.
can actually.
You basically need like 3 platforms in order for these
Uh,
transactions to take place.
so once you get your crypto from Coinbase into your wallet,
Hmm.
you will connect your wallet to each platform, so you can see. Oh, it's
So
not
you can
letting me.
connect your wallet to like Object, OpenSeas, like any sort of NFT exchange.
Right. So right now my wallet is connected. So say I wanted to buy this,
Hmm.
I click buy, and I was sending that request to Kukai, and it's literally as easy as confirming it, and then I make the confirmation again. A Twitter pop up will show up and be like, "Yes, I authorize this transaction," and then that's it.
Wow, so it's super easy.
Very easy.
Wow, that's awesome. Um, so Flip, I noticed on the NFT that you're just showing us as the example to buy, um, there was a bunch of information, and one of the things included a royalties. As you can see, it says 15%. Can you just
Yes.
explain to me how like the payment structure of the NFTs work and what the royalties entail?
So the royalty is the percentage that the artist that created the NFT is going to receive every time a transaction is made,
Every time?
every
Wow.
single time. So I sell it, he gets 15%. The next person, he gets 15%, and so on.
Wow, I thought it was like diminishing returns. I thought it was less royalty with every time it's sold.
Yeah,
That's
no.
crazy
So
that 15% with every single sale.
yep, and you
Wow.
get to set your own royalties. So it's been really good for artists to cut out the middleman, and make more money for themselves doing something they enjoy.
Wow. Yeah,
Uh,
so go ahead, Jimmy.
I was going to ask you then, when you buy an NFT, what would you say your average holding time is of an NFT? Because I guess the royalties only seem to come into play when there's another transaction, right? When it's bought and sold again. So if you just hold an NFT for a while, is there still a fee the artist collects, or not really? It's only when it's bought and sold.
Only when it's bought and sold. So only when that actual transaction happens.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah. So that there are several things that I have as a long hold, but I've been making a lot of quick flips. So especially with this project here, it's actually going to be a graphic novel. So this is art you'll actually see as the episodes or comics, whatever you want to call them, come out.
Oh, interesting.
That's pretty cool.
And
Um, well, so so you have an NFT project yourself, right?
I don't have one myself.
But you're a moderator in a
Yeah. So and I have done some writing for some projects,
okay.
but typically it's helping with the moderation. Or let's see, this one here is actually going to be a tabletop RPG on the blockchain.
Oh,
And so recently, I've done some writing for the quests that are going to be available. So it's really neat. This project, Ring Worlds and Vessels, actually, I hadn't written for probably 7+ years.
Hmm.
Uh, joined a fan fiction challenge for this one, and that was it. I've been writing consistently. I'm now on this project's team helping out. So it's been quite a ride.
oh, that's awesome. So I think one thing for me, and I don't want to speak for all other novices NFTs, but I'm going to, is I don't think we really comprehend or appreciate the scope of what an NFT project actually entails. Like we just think it's just kind of like
A
an
picture.
image and the buying and selling of it. But I guess what it really is kind of what you're saying before. There's this like, graphic novel, for example, and there's a bunch of stories within that, or there's the tabletop RPG, and you have to somehow create the side quests is what you're writing for, and things like that. So having you know understood that the NFTs have a whole immersive kind of universe or complex background, what do you think the future of NFTs looks like? Like in 5 years from now, how are how's the average person interacting with NFTs?
So I think the biggest way the average person will be interacting is gaming on the blockchain.
Yeah.
So this project, it's called Rocket Monsters. He is building a game on uh, Unreal Engine 5, but all of the assets will be on the blockchain. So you buy this rifle for 10 TES, you own it, it's your in-game asset. You're free to sell it, trade it for another one. All of the transactions happen on the blockchain. So you can go and verify everything yourself with the transactions. And it makes it super easy and a super cool way to kind of take microtransactions and make them for the player instead of against.
Right. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like it's like digitally showing off. Like you have this gun in this game,
Oh
and then
yeah.
the benefit is that no one can take it. Like it's verifiable through the blockchain that it is yours.
Yep.
Whereas like in the past, you could hack the game, or you could unlock guns and stuff. And now it's like the NFT and the blockchain verifies that this is yours. And when you sell it, you make money on it, I guess.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about it even like further, like, and I like how you said the microtransactions sort of benefit the players and the users, because I feel like Fortnite sort of pioneered the free to play model where the game itself was actually free, but you paid for the new skins and things like that. I remember my little brother
Hmm.
was spending like hundreds of bucks on the new skins and shit like that, and all that money was going to Epic Games. But
Yep.
I guess in NFT gaming world, the money goes to the users and the people who hold
Right.
the assets that are actually being purchased.
Yep. Yeah. And the benefit you have with these that you have over Fortnite, whereas Fortnite's purely aesthetic. So you purchase Galaxy Lord. Well, the two weapons that he's holding are also included with him. So you don't have to buy any additional weapons. He comes just as he is there. You know, you get
Oh,
the mini gun with Santa Claus, the swords with your samurai. So that I think is really neat. Is not only do you get the visual aspect of look at this awesome character, but also I purchased this and I have in-game utility.
right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you see NFT projects abandoning Ethereum as time goes on, just due to the high transaction costs and the chains like Solana or Tezos or others being the main chains for the projects to exist on?
I hope so. I can't say that I think it will because Ethereum just,
It's what people are used to. Yeah.
yeah, it's their comfort zone. And despite the high costs and the failed transactions, it doesn't seem to be losing much traction.
Hmm.
Uh, but fortunately, we do see a lot of traffic from ETH artists or collectors coming over here because they can take their ETH, convert it to Tezos, and now they have much more buying power than they did previously.
Right.
Yeah, no,
So
that's true.
they come in and can buy a bunch of assets to play the game or buy it and hold out and know that someone's going to want to collect it in the future.
Right. Yeah. So one question I have is like, how when you find an NFT project, like how do you evaluate it and know that it's like a good project or it has potential? Because I was watching this one video and it was saying that basically like 98% of NFT projects will fail, or not fail, but they won't be profitable. So like, what do you look for when you find an NFT project? Do you look for like the community? Do you make sure that the founders are like known and they're not like hiding their identity? Like, what do you look for when you're
Yeah,
trying to find an NFT project?
absolutely. I like to see the creator is active, in their Discord or Telegram, wherever they have their communications.
Hmm.
But also the community, how active are they? Uh, Another thing, so doing it for a while, I will see the same people pop up in different projects that I'm checking out, so I can kind of vet it through them.
Hmm.
But my big thing is I like a project that is going to have utility. So it'll be a game, it'll be a book,
Hmm.
it's going to do something. The profile pictures can be really good for a quick flip, but it can also be a really good way to lose a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah, there's always risk associated with it all. Um, so Flip, kind of going back to how you evaluate a project. I'm curious, how did you get involved with the projects that you're writing for?
So let's see, Vessels started actually with their fan fiction challenge. Here you can see my entry for their current one, but I entered into one. Uh, the artist liked it a lot, and I entered into the next one, and I actually won the contest. And these NFTs you see here, the one I showed you, Randall, and this one, Constance, those are actually characters from the story that I wrote, that the artist, turned into his NFTs and add onto his collection and will use in his story.
Oh wow,
Oh,
that's
cool.
awesome. So I'm just trying to like lay out this NFT universe that you're in for Vessels. So Vessels, there's an artist, okay, he's the one who creates all the actual images. And then is the backstory between all like are all of these inspired by other fan fiction stories that he selected to be like worthwhile for the graphic novel? Like who's I guess putting together the novel? Is it the artist who's doing it?
So he actually has a writer that's working with him. I believe they grew up together as well. They've been working on this project for years,
Mhm.
and the blockchain kind of gave them the ability to,
Monetize
yeah, get the word out and then
it.
also fund the project by people who join the community and are passionate about it, whether they
Yeah.
stick around to see what is going on or if they just are in it for a quick buck and flip. Both of them help the project equally.
Yeah, I feel like the NFT world is basically you join a community that's really active. There's like a story involved with it. There's some sort of game or utility from the project. You buy this digital asset, and then anytime someone buys that from you, you make money. So
Hmm.
it's like you got to find these projects that have like an active community and a story. Otherwise, you're basically just buying, like you said, a profile picture
Hmm.
that yeah may look cool and someone might buy, but there's not really like a community that's giving it value um in the future. It's kind of like a brand, right? Like if you
Yep.
buy a car that's like a Mercedes, someone relates to that brand because it has a community of people who like that car. It's like
Hmm.
now you have this NFT community where people can relate to it and they bond over this stuff. So I feel like I'm starting to understand this world. Seems to make a lot of sense.
Yep. Yeah. It's a very unusual thing to get into, and it makes absolutely no sense when you start out.
Yeah, because I
um,
feel like it. I guess everyone's first exposure to NFTs is they think it's art, but
mhm.
There's more to it than
dig a
just
little bit,
that.
yeah, if you dig a little bit below the surface, you realize there's much more to that. So Flip, I have another question for you. Um, for NFT trading, is it all auction styled to actually purchase an NFT? It seems like there's always like bidding. It's not like just this is the set sale or a set price for a particular NFT. What has your experience been with that?
So a lot of them are auctions, but also you can list it for a specific price. So this is what the owner has listed it for. Also, you can go in and make an offer. Uh,
Okay. So there's like a price that he wants, but you can offer less, kind of like eBay.
right, and it'll show up right over here.
Mhm.
I don't want to buy it for 44, so I offer 38. And he's like, well, you know what? I still make money on that one. And he can choose to accept it. And then the transaction happens automatically. So I make the offer and I have to back that up monetarily. So when I choose to make the offer, I'm actually going ahead and sending the TES to object as if I bought it. So when he decides, yes, I want to sell it, he immediately gets his TES and then the object is sent to my wallet.
Mm,
So,
okay.
there's no fear of losing money.
So do you hold the TES in object long term ever, or it kind of happens the transfer of TES to object happens when you make the offer? Like
It
there's
happens when you make the offer.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it typically it'll sit here in Kukai
Mhm.
until I tell it to go somewhere else. Uh, you make an offer and it'll hang out here until either
So
you
what are
decide.
these? What are these projects here?
So this one is called Flux Tribe. It's a graffiti artist who had a big following in ETH and was part of another big project, the G-Vols.
Hmm.
And he started this project on Tezos because it was a way for him to get his art out there, uh, but
Wow.
not lose out on money.
Yeah.
Just to be able to mint the amount of objects you can on Tez would cost a fortune on Ethereum, and
Right.
that's before you even make a sale.
So like what's the so if you're an artist, you create this like image. How do you get that image on like object.com? Like what's the
Let's
process? Do
see.
you have to pay? Do you have to pay like a fee? Like how does that work?
Yeah, so it's
If you can just yeah, you just
yeah,
click create.
it's a yeah, you click create and it's a small fee. It's kind of like you can see here, one
Yeah,
Tez, so
one
a couple
test.
bucks to do that. But you take all of your files and you upload them, and you can actually create a collection, which will give you, sorry, a tag, kind of like, so you see, here's the artist, and this is the name of the collection.
Right.
So you can group all of your projects together, but they're still all listed under your account. So I can look at all of your work, or I can be like, oh, I like this particular collection, and now it's narrowed down.
Wow.
But yeah, it's just as easy
This
as
is so easy and I feel like
yeah,
everyone makes it seem so complicated. Like, yeah, this is great.
So, Flip. So when they say, I guess these are a little different, but like those still images, when people say like, oh, you're just taking a screenshot of a JPEG, like you're kind of doing that. But when you upload it to Object and tokenize it for the Tez fee, it becomes like a blockchain certified asset kind of thing, right?
yeah. So the blockchain is essentially just a ledger of who owns what. So I know it can be verified that I own this particular NFT. And I mean, someone could, if they really wanted to, just right click and save it. It's a big joke in the community, like, oh, I can just right click save it.
Yeah.
Why would I buy it? But
Yeah. I was watching this like Gary V interview. Like he had that big project where he made like an insane amount of money. But he was basically saying like, oh, people like talk bad on NFTs because it's just that you can just save a JPEG. You know what I mean? But the thing is, it's like you can verify through the blockchain that you actually own it. You
mhm.
know what I mean? So you can tell if someone's lying about it in like 2 seconds.
Oh
Whereas
yeah.
if in real life, if someone has like a fake gold chain on, you don't know if it's fake. But like
Yep.
with blockchain, like NFTs, digital art, like you can actually verify it. So it's actually almost like more legitimate than what people would fake in like everyday life.
Hmm.
But I feel like a lot of people can't wrap their heads around that.
Yep. And the neat thing, so as the artist, you can decide how people can use the NFT, whether it's just for personal use or commercial use. So let's see, let me find.
Geez, all these people who say starving artists, like artists don't make any money, they're getting all proved wrong now.
And so this is one of the first artists I started following, but he created, his spin on punks, which I don't personally understand why people are so fascinated by them, but they sell. So
Wasn't it one of the first projects? It was like
yes, yeah, crypto
2017.
punks.
Yeah.
And so now everyone's making a derivative of the punks in a different artist style or 3D or flip them. It's crazy. But the cool thing about this artist is, say I purchase this one, I actually own the asset. So if I want to take and put it on stickers and t-shirts and hats and sell it, I have the right to do that because I own this individual one.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Like there's no trademark at that point because you own it.
Right.
Copyright
And
infringement.
yeah, so it's super neat. So, and he, if I decide, I'm done with this one and I sell it, he still gets the benefit from it. And now someone else owns it and they can go make their own, franchise with it. It opens up a lot of opportunities for the artist and the collector that I feel like you may not necessarily have with collecting physical art.
Yeah, I think like for me, like when I look at blockchain technology and just how it's like revolutionizing the world, I just think it's just aligning incentives more clearly between, like you said, like the artist and the collector. It's sort of like eliminating middlemans. I guess people kind of hope that banks and insurance companies and traditional financial middlemen will kind of like go to the wayside as blockchain infrastructure takes more hold. And I guess
Hmm.
with NFTs, like I said before, like it, I know middlemen plague the art industry and take so much of it all.
Oh
And
yeah.
I guess the hope is that won't really be the case anymore as the NFTs become more and more pervasive.
Yeah, yeah. The big push is to decentralize everything, so you're more in control of your assets.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
awesome. It's
Well, they were,
just
I saw a video like they're gonna start like NFTing like deeds to houses, like all that kind of stuff.
hmm.
You can just do
Yep.
it digitally and then verify like through blockchain, like, oh, you own this house. There's no need for like paperwork or anything anymore.
Yeah, and you
Um,
don't have to worry about forgeries because the data's all on the
right.
blockchain. You go verify it, and that's that.
you're getting your
So
identity
like,
stolen. You know, that's big.
Right?
yeah. Well, one question I have like for the haters, I guess, or like people who are older, is
The haters and losers.
like, is it possible to like hack the blockchain? Like theoretically, I guess not, right? Because every transaction is public, so you can track everything.
Yeah,
Like
so it's not necessarily the blockchain that's getting hacked, it's the platforms that are using it.
like the crypto wallet
Right. So someone
or
gets a
the
hold of,
object.com or something.
yeah, of your
Okay.
secret seed, and now they have access to it, or they code a contract with like a backdoor where they can take funds out, uh, and you don't realize it because you either don't know what the smart contract is saying. So they develop it, and everyone goes and makes their transaction, and now this contract has a big liquidity pool, and then boom, the devs empty it and leave, and now there's nothing you can do about it.
So that's what people are talking about when they're talking about scams.
Right.
That type of thing.
And
Okay.
it is, I mean, it's the same thing as, someone calling you and saying, hey, I need, your social so you can pay your AT&T bill, and then they take
Right.
all of your money and open credit cards on your in your name.
Right. Okay. That's why you got to use like obviously like, this is a secure site. Like a lot of people use it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think that part of the blockchain revolution, like the digitization of assets or anything like that, is also the increased awareness of cybersecurity, right? And we'll probably
Hmm.
see that type of technology beginning to take off as well. Um, so, Flip, when choosing like a blockchain to use, is there a reason why you chose Tezos over, say, Solana? Um, or do you like, are you that you don't discriminate against blockchain? You'll use whatever's cheapest. It's more just a utility thing for you, not a
Yeah.
preference.
So originally it was just simply because I held Tezos, because of Boyd. I invested in it, and I don't
Okay.
have ETH or Sol or any of that. Uh, so it was just purely based on the fact that that's what I had. So I learned that first. And now I like the environmental benefits and the cost effectiveness of this one. Whereas I could try and go jump in on ETH, and I might lose $200 just trying to make a transaction simply because I'm ignorant of how to use all of their systems.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Makes
So
sense.
when you can you click on the explore tab on this website? I just want to see.
Yeah, so it brings up, uh, kind of randomizes
COVID.
everything. So actually, hold on, I saw.
So these are like digital gifts too.
Mhm. This is another one that is gamified. It's buying a block of land, and it produces a certain amount of resources based on what you have on the land. And then those resources are used to build new buildings, and they're going to add a battle scenario where you can build your units or buy units and fight other players to get more resources or other artifacts that you couldn't get otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the projects that are actually gonna make money over time are the ones that have utility and can
Hmm.
be used in like a game or
Yep. And then the
some sort of
art that I think will really, let's see.
What's your favorite like art NFTs other than ones you already showed us?
Let's see. Uh, so I like a lot of the uh, digital AI generated art,
Okay.
just simply because it's generated based on words, and I like writing, and I can't draw, so
I,
uh,
I wish I could draw now that all this stuff's making all this money. Should have taken art class more seriously.
You're really
right.
coming up.
Uh,
Well, we were thinking about doing NFTs for all of our thumbnails because we have a guy who designs our slap the ass show thumbnails. We were like, why not just put them on NFT and like someone owns like a percentage of like the show. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And even to that, our good friend Miking around, he is an actual artist. He's a photographer. And
oh,
I
nice.
remember, Luke, remember like this is probably this point last year. It was like February, March. We're talking about NFTs back then, and we never really like
We should
did
have
anything
started.
beyond that. You know, like now it's like we should just like be like, Mike, watch this video. You literally go to object.com and you hit upload.
I know.
You
I don't know.
know?
The problem is I don't know if Mike has the patience to actually watch this entire interview. That's the problem.
Well, he
Is
edits
like
them. He edits them.
that's
So.
literally the problem is people aren't willing to take an hour of their time and watch a YouTube video explaining NFTs and they're just like, oh, I don't understand, it doesn't make sense. When, the 1% of people that actually take the time, like Flip, can actually be making money and like understanding it.
Mhm.
But it's like this world we live in now. People just have no patience to learn
I
new
mean, to
skills.
be fair, Luke, I
I
don't
mean,
have.
I'm guilty of that as well. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
I don't have the patience to watch the video, but it's easier when I guess you make the video, right? But now we don't
what
have to watch
Jimmy,
it. We have the conversation actually with the guy
yeah,
who knows.
what Jimmy's telling me, my new goal is to start this NFT project. This is my new life goal. 4 days later, no progress.
Well, it's going to start after the video. Now we know. Now we know.
I say you can tell him about this platform. Calumet is really big for photography NFTs. So this
Okay, we
one,
should probably. I feel like I should be taking notes now.
yeah. So I actually minted this one. My wife brought me to the Grand Canyon for the first time. I
Wow.
took that photo and I was like, you know what? It's gonna sit on my phone, and I may or may not do something with it. I was like, I'm gonna mint it. It's not gonna cost me anything, and I list it for one Tez. So
What is it? A
anywhere
couple
from
bucks?
$4 to $5 for a photo that you can do whatever you want with after you purchase it. But yeah, and it's just like this is my first time seeing the Grand Canyon, so I can share that experience with other people. And if they like the art, they can buy it. If not, they can just check it out.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Yes. Yeah. I can
So
see
like,
why when you get celebrities to promote these NFTs, they pop off.
Hmm.
You just need to get as much attention as possible. It's all just marketing, a lot of it, honestly. Marketing
Absolutely.
games,
So
marketing photos.
Mike Shinoda is one of the big celebrities on Tez right now.
Yeah, Lincoln Park.
So his project is Ziggurats. He created, essentially, he made like a mixtape on the blockchain. So each of his NFTs have their own little soundtrack, whether it's percussion or bass, the guitar, and you own that little picture and the music that goes with it.
oh, that's so dope.
And so this is his project. And the thing that makes the profile pictures valuable if they're popular are the attributes. So there was one that listed the face as being, I think it was a blue princess, but the face was actually red. So it was actually wrong. It's like finding a coin that had an issue in minting. And so now suddenly it's more valuable just for the fact that it has that little quirk and
Hmm.
someone likes it and they're like, you know what, I want that one. I'm going to buy it.
Hmm.
That's
And then,
badass.
and the soundtrack that they have on them, you can actually stream them on Spotify and other streaming services as well.
So I guess theoretically, if for this particular project, if there's like a song associated with the NFT that streams on Spotify, do I like get royalties based on the amount of streams on Spotify? I guess it's so minuscule you wouldn't even notice, but
Yeah.
like
So
what's the point of the song, I guess?
that one I think he just did. So you have it was incorporating his love for music with his love of art. So he actually went to school for art and drawing and then, started the band. But I think the way he did it is he still owns the commercial rights to all of the music. Just because I feel like that'd probably be a nightmare to figure out how to individually make all of those transactions happen fluidly.
Yeah, it seems like it would be a headache more than it's worth.
But the cool thing is he actually now is in this Discord with the Vessels project, and the artist, his name is Jake for Vessels. He likes to do a lot of crossover pieces of different projects that the community likes or an artist that collects his work. So this one is it's on ETH. It's called Oni Force, but it's one of his big collectors NFTs that he owns, and he made a crossover piece. And he'll gift. This is an edition of 10, so he'll gift one to the person that suggested it, and then he'll raffle off the other 9 for the opportunity to buy it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Interesting
And this,
strategy.
yeah, this is his crossover piece for Mike Shinoda's project Ziggurats. And when he announced this one and these other projects from ETH, you had people from the Ziggurats Discord jumping in, and you can see all their profile pictures. People from Doom Gang jumping in and like, oh my god, I love Doom Gang. I really want this one. And they'll either win the raffle and they'll get it for the primary price of 10 tes, or someone will immediately list it for a flip lower than someone else would sell it for. So that person's like, all right, I want this one. I'm going to buy it for 25. So you have a bunch of real quick flip transactions going on, and it kind of settles down into, so they call them, paper handing it if you buy it and he immediately list it lower than what someone else would for this
Like the
project.
same in the trading world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you have your diamond hands that they buy what they like and they will not list it. So they just keep it. And it's really neat to see all of these different communities coming together in the different discords, and helping each other out. This artist, he started out small and got really popular. Then he did this Basquiat punk project,
Hmm.
and his utility is, because it's art, his utility is he's creating paintbrushes. So of your physical art that you own, say you own this one, he's going to do it in a digital AI version, and he's going to do it in like a newsprint version. And because you own that one, you also get each of these new variations, and you own those as well. Uh,
Wow.
Cool.
It's all like so awesome. I I always keep on like harping back on this, but I guess the whole point why things initially got centralized in like economic sense and like government and things like that, just because there's no way to verify trust
mhm.
or authenticity before technology advancements. But now that we have technology, we don't really need centralization. And I think NFTs are just a great example of how decentralization benefits everybody, and how making the authority not this top-down structure within a
Yep.
community will just make everyone more prosperous. And it's all very exciting to me.
Oh yeah. So you can see all of the individual transactions that happen with my wallet. So I can take the link for the transaction. I can copy the I can copy this link and send it to them and show, hey, you can see my wallet interacting with your wallet, and either I'm sending you the TES or I'm sending you the token. So we make a trade and we send each other this link to show, hey, this is the transaction going through.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
Very cool.
Last thing that I had. So the baker fee, is that just the fee that Tezos takes, like the storage fee? Like, do you know a breakdown of the fees associated with this?
Right. So the baker fee is who you have your Tezos delegated to if you have it. So baking is what they call it for their proof of stake system. It's you have to have a certain amount of Tez, and then people can delegate to you. Uh, and so basically, you're holding all of this Tez in one location and sending out the payments to the people delegated to you as you receive the rewards for baking on the blockchain.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's just, and it's set as a percentage. They'll do 8% or 10%. And let's see, so like you can see, this is who I'm delegated to, and this is the amount that they have delegated to them. And you can go through and see the rewards that they've received from each cycle. So you can go through and kind of decide who you want to delegate to based on how well they're doing. You
Right.
can see they missed this opportunity. So you can see all of these that they didn't get, or you can see where they're making big rewards, which means you're getting more rewards. So you can go through and check out each of them. You can see what they're going to charge you to hold your Tez and bake it for you. So it's really nice because everything is open.
Yeah.
You can go and verify it for yourself.
Distributed ledger technology, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
freaking fantastic. Wow. Well, Flip, really want to thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. Learned a lot, honestly. I learned a lot.
Yeah. So did
Want to
I.
buy this stuff and tell my friend Mike how to make NFTs. My other friend Joe was trying to post his art too, so want to spread this information out. Before I let you go, I guess, is there any takeaway that you would like, any tip you'd give to the novice NFTer? Like, what would be like your one big takeaway?
The biggest thing is don't ever buy something unless it's something that you would like to have.
Right.
It's kind of like, don't invest in the stock market unless you're willing to lose that money. I'm not going to go and buy something that I wouldn't either like to hang on my wall, or I like the artist, so I want to support them.
Hmm.
Uh, so it's buy it knowing you like the art first, or you want to support the project before buying just because you think you can make a quick buck on it.
Right. Yeah. I feel like that's the cool thing is you can buy something that you like and that you think is cool, but you could also potentially make money. But
Mm-hmm.
I guess don't go into it thinking that you're gonna make a bunch of money.
That's
So
where a lot of people will lose money, is they'll think, oh, this is the next big profile picture project.
they
So
buy
they
mine.
go and mint like the max that you can and invest, hundreds or thousands of dollars. And then the secondary market is just, nope, nobody is interested in it.
Right. Yeah.
It's tough.
Well, Flip, this has been awesome. I've learned so much. And yeah, thanks for taking the time out of your Saturday morning to show us all this stuff. This is gonna help a lot of people, and I know it helped me. So
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me on, and feel free to reach out with questions or let me know if I can help you out. And if I can, I will, or I'll try and find an answer for you.
sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks, appreciate it, and shout out again to Boyd Crowder for getting us connected.
Yep. Thank you, Flip. Have a good
All
weekend.
right. Thank you guys. Y'all as well.
All right,
Take
later,
care.
everybody.